Hi, friends. David Nuño here, TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs in the Rollo Insurance Studio. By the way, Specs, 4-time Retailer of the Year. We had a great show today. Nick, tell us one or two of the things, and then we'll see if Reed can guess the other.
Oh, well, of course, we had OB and Nuño, and then Josh Pate.
Josh
there
Pate.
You go.
Really good.
2 segments.
All right, let's see if Reed can guess one correctly. Who else did we have on the Rewind?
Andrew Monaco.
Wow, good job. He's 1 for 1. Ain't no way he's going
the first time.
2 for 2.
Who's the other one?
Tara Henry.
Told you. Ain't no shot. No. Scott Livingstone. But nice try.
It was a good effort. Yeah, 50%. In school, that would fail you. But in Major League Baseball, you'd be a Hall of Famer. You'd be the Hall of Famer, the only one left.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's awkward. It's a Rewind. I could just see this like fake meeting. You know, it's like the Office episode, and they got like a little wall in the background. They're like, everybody, throw out an idea. No idea is bad. And they start writing down, and one person's like, yeah, automatic qualifiers. Oh, TV ratings. If they have a lot of people who watch them, doesn't matter the record, put them on there.
I really cannot believe anybody would even suggest that. Maybe Heather just came up with it. I don't think so.
It's one of the worst ideas I've ever heard.
It may be the worst.
Yeah, let's give it the worst.
It may be worse than say, hey, we're going to find, or we're going to take a win away if your fans storm the field. Remember that one?
What are the worst?
And it was Alabama that was suggesting it's always self-serving.
What are the worst rules ever, like ideas like that in sports history?
Well, you could go all the way back. You know, I mean, they're all in college football. You could go back to the original BCS alignment. You know, there's just over and over.
All-Star game in baseball, winner decides home field advantage.
Yeah, for the World Series, right? That was insane. It was Bud Selig. There's a lot of stupid rules because. How about in Texas high school sports when they say, well, we're going to let 4 teams get into the playoffs and we're going to have 2 divisions.
2 divisions.
Yeah, whatever happened to saying, hey, you're the best team. Yeah. Let's find out who the best teams are. Anyway, there's just tons of bad rules. It's just because people are always trying to placate others.
Placaters.
Instead of just say, hey, why don't we just find out who's best?
Yeah. The NCAA is also proposing eliminating 153 longstanding rules from its handbook. 9 major legislative changes proposed, including direct play to players. They're just trying to be in line for when the House settlement happens. Effective date would be June 15th with these new benefits coming.
Okay, well, first of all, you know, the NCAA rule book was always so huge. And it needed to be streamlined. So if you're going to take, and it has been, but if you're going to take even more bureaucracy out of it, then okay, that's good.
Every week I wonder to myself, how are we going to advance the story in college football? And every week we have ways to advance the story. First, let's go with this whole Tennessee swap. I was just talking to OB about it. Joey Aguilar's going to Tennessee now. Nico going to UCLA. Kind of works out, I think, really well for Tennessee.
Yeah, let's see about that. I'd love for it to, because I'd love for that to just be the story. If you and I were watching a movie, normally, unless it's a horror movie, you know you're going to get some kind of satisfying ending or delivery. So that's the way it would work out if it were a movie. Not always working out that way in college football or sports in general. That's the beauty of authentic competition. But I do agree with you that if Josh Heupel is who we think he is, if that system is not the most complex thing in the world to pick up, and then the parts that are certain, if Aguilar is a guy who probably has a chip on his shoulder the size of the state of Tennessee, and his coaching staff will feel the same way, specifically his head coach will feel the same way, then yeah, I do agree with you. And then in the whole financial aggregate, you get the side effect of you're not having to pay a guy $2, $3, or whatever he wanted, $4 million. And who knows, they may get the same kind of production, which leads to a broader discussion. And this extends beyond Tennessee. That leads to a broader discussion, sort of the way, you know, the Moneyball era made us talk about baseball a generation ago of, well, if you're going to get 87% the production that you would have gotten but for $113 million less, isn't that a really good move? Well, the answer is yes, it is a good move. Is that what's about to happen? Not to call Tennessee a Moneyball team or anything, but is that about to happen in theory in college football? And then, David, the broader reaching tentacles of this whole thing which you and I could spend like the rest of today, tomorrow, and next day on, is could we be looking at a situation that we probably had to go through in order to get out, not clean on the other side, but wherever we want to go on the other side? Because this to me was one of those take someone by the head, peel their eyelids back, and force them to see the problem type moments in college football or college athletics, because there probably were some holdouts. There probably were some people who, oh, it'll work itself out. It's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. Then this happens. And even those people have to kind of grit their teeth and say, yeah, I guess we do have a problem we need to address.
They say that you're not supposed to care if a guy's a good guy or not, or like, it's just about results, which results are the big thing. But I like Michael Early. I'm happy for Michael Early. I want success for Michael Early, and I know you feel the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's they're not mutually exclusive. It doesn't mean you're a winner and you have to be a bad guy, right? He merges everything. The thing that gets, and I know it's his first year as head coach, but it's not his first year coaching. It's not the first year of, with he and Caleb Longley and the entire coaching staff working, this lineup has been good since he has gotten here. And that trust that the hitters have had with him, and now that they're gaining with Caleb Longley, that's the beauty. Yeah, great guy. Not so much waited for the moment. When the moment came, he seized it. Went through the rough patches. I think it just makes him a better head coach. Yeah. I really do. Because then what happens if everything's clear sailing, then you hit a problem and you don't know how do I handle it? Unfortunately, it came early. But then when you see that success, that just leads to team confidence. And he's never changed. Yeah. That's Michael always being Michael. And for athletes, when the head coach doesn't change through whatever, I think that instills even more confidence and makes you work a little bit harder.
A couple of moments in the sand that I think happened. I think the Kentucky series where he got heated. Yes, the series went a certain way, but that was like a moment for people to rally around. And also, I think Tony Vitello showing him a little grace and saying, hey, if people would have judged me on my first 20 games, they would have a different opinion of me as well.
Yeah.
I think those all kind of at least gave good perspective of who he is.
You knew that Michael was going to fight for his team, right? You're going to do that. It wasn't just hey, look at me. He's not a look at me guy. It's just not that way. I think I'm going to add something to Tennessee and Vitello. I think the way they like John Sheshik said it after the no-hit run rule. Okay, what are you made of now? Mm-hmm. Are you going to come out and have some pride? He wasn't predicting sweep. I think that bounce back and then to out-volunteer Tennessee, they out-slugged them, they out-pitched them, they outplayed them. If you also remember in that doubleheader, that's when they started running with the double steals. You're going to let this team go. So again, this didn't work. And Michael even said, look, we got some barrels on some balls. It was Liam Doyle's day. We didn't get any hits, but it wasn't like this discouragement of, you know what, let's blow it up and do something different. The doing something different was, let's put a little pressure on. And they responded to that. And those two games weren't close, except for the first maybe 4 innings in game one of that doubleheader. And I think the way they did it to Tennessee, I thought that was also, if you talk about moment in the sand, yeah, look at that. I think those two things combined.
The start of the season wasn't fantastic. I had Andrew Monaco in studio a little while ago. We were talking, the thought about the record was obviously there, and he wasn't producing at the clip that we were expecting or used to. All of a sudden, that dude's a beast again. And if you look at the whole numbers, because baseball is something you got to look at the entire season, he's right there in it all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jace he's a beast, man. And he's always going to be, a threat at the plate. Doesn't matter if he's on a hitless streak. Everybody's still going to be afraid of him at the plate, right? And you don't want to see him coming to the plate in a tight game. And, because he's got that power to turn the game around. And, yeah, I think I heard him say he'd be lying if he wasn't thinking about the record and setting it, because you could tell when he ran around the bases after he hit it, it was like, oof. It's over with. I'm done. I've got it. And he's able to kind of just turn it loose from there. And just to be able to do the things that he does on the field, I mean, taking the walks too. I mean, when you're trying to break a record or something like that, you might start swinging at pitches out of the zone and trying to do more than you really should. But he dialed it back and took his walks. And, everybody knew the home runs would come and he would break the record. It's just a matter of time. And I think the way he's handled it, the way he's gone about it, yeah, I mean, he should be a top 10 pick this year in the draft, and that's evident from what he's been doing.
Let's talk about the bullpen this weekend. You had a couple guys just shining, Luke Jackson and Weston Moss. But really, when you look at Weston Moss all season long, man, that guy has, I think one of our listeners compared him to what Evan Aschenbach. He's been so good for this bullpen. And then you throw in Luke Jackson's most recent streak. I mean, that is a duo right there.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I've been a Luke Jackson fan for a long time. I think his stuff, it was electric, even though he's had some ups and downs. But I still think, once he gets that confidence and they get confidence in him, I mean, he's going to shine. Moss, man, I tell you what, that guy, it's almost kind of been like Friday night, you throw Prager, and Prager goes as long as he can, and then we bring in Moss to tie it, to nail it down. And throwing as many innings as he does maybe on a Friday, hopefully he doesn't have to because maybe he can come back on Sunday, but you burn him in that one game, but you go for it, right? You got to win that first game, and so you just go for it. So hopefully he doesn't have to throw as many innings, but I loved his interview about the changeup. He goes, guys just struggle with it. And he goes, they struggle with it. And I throw it like 80% of the time. And I loved it and I could relate to it because one of my best friends in the big leagues was Trevor Hoffman, Hall of Famer, reliever for San Diego. He made the Hall of Fame because of a changeup. I mean, that's pure and simple. And I faced him one time. I knew it was coming. He struck me out. I hate to admit it, but yeah, he struck me out on all changeups. But it's the same thing with Moss. I see a lot of the similarities between those guys because you can know it's coming, but then you still can't hit it. And he was in a situation with Arkansas. Is it Aloy, the shortstop? I think that's how you say his last name. At that one game, and he came in and he had 2 strikes. I think it was full count, 2 guys on the bases, and the guy's obviously a big time player, and he threw him a 3-2 changeup. So to have the confidence to do that and throw it at that time of the count and throw it at any time of the count, the guy's tough, man. And I agree, Aschenbach. When they came in, you could see all the posts. People say, game over, lights out, turn off the lights. We'll see you tomorrow. I feel the same way about Moss.
Well, Reed, I want you to match my energy. Go.
Y'all know what to do. Make sure to text the hotline. It makes
Literally
my job.
no change. Like there's no
It's the
change.
exact same.
I don't know what
Anyways,
your energy
continue.
is. Make sure to comment on the TexAgs live stream or the YouTube live stream. Makes all of our jobs a lot easier.
And say hi to Reed for me. If you see him on campus, just give him a hug. You like hugs, right?
Sure.
It's awkward. We'll see you next time, guys.